Yeah. Two. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the bait, you calling the cops. The yapping is cheap, I call you the ops. The rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered it. Work hard, play hard, homeboy, everybody ain't calling out. Got a mouthpiece from the southeast, if you want scrap, stall him out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I feel good, man, I'm balling out. I'm a rich man with a rich fam, Christ bars got me out of mama house. And I bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Big God, big grace. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner looking old, so fresh, cold, clean. You see that thing? Take that damn picture for your mama and them guys, and welcome to the Countermove podcast, guys, where we lean in, look at life from a wise perspective, guys, and then what we kind of do is we prescribe the right solutions for certain situations. I'm trying to get us live, guys, on Instagram. I believe that it may be coming live, guys. I don't know what's going on with Instagram, guys. It don't like me, but it's all good, y'all. I'm here for you. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to try one last time. If not, then I'm going to get right to the show. Don't you worry about it. Don't know what's going on. Anyways. All right, guys. Let's dive into this real fast. Guys, today we're going to talk about a subject that's vitally important. But before I say that, guys, if you're looking for a debate, do one thing for me. Hit that X button real hard. All right? And skedaddle out here. Now, if you could, guys, if you like what I'm talking about, share. Hit on that like button, guys. And if you could, guys, comment if you below and let me know if you like the content as well, and also what I could actually do better. So, guys, thank you so much for your time and bless me with your time. All right. So let's see what's going on. Let's dive into this real quickly, guys. All right. What's going on right now is there's a lot of hub going on right now when it comes to Walmart. All right. Walmart actually has been diving a lot into AI. AI has become very popular for Walmart. All right. So we want to talk about Walmart AI and universal basic income. Now you may be saying, Liddell, what does AI and Walmart have to do with UBI? I'm glad you actually asked that question because we're going to dive into this thing, okay, guys? But before we dive into that, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to do this here. We're gonna dive right into Walmart's AI conversion. All right, that's a big topic right now. So let's dive in to Walmart doing this conversion real quickly. Let's see what actually happened. Here we go. Let's dive into this real fast. Let's go get it in with the people. All right, and we're going to see what Walmart is doing and also the response of consumers. All right, let's get it in and let's dive into this. Let's go.
I've been watching all of this happening, not even noticing all the cameras.
But longtime Walmart shopper Nadine Salzman had no idea what was coming to her Walmart neighborhood market.
They're going to follow patterns and the people.
Using a complicated array of cameras and sensors to watch every move made in the aisles and on the shelves. All the information is then sent to a giant data center in the back at a rate of 3 years worth of music per second.
Over 100 servers in this data center here.
Mike Hanrahan led the conversion of this grocery store to an intelligent retail lab, as Walmart's calling it. It's the first among the more than 5,000 Walmart stores in the United States to get this artificial intelligence or AI array of cameras and sensors.
Understanding what's on the shelves, what inventory is on the shelves, how's it laid out, is there maybe spills on the floor, do we need to open a new checkout for a customer?
Throughout the store, there's also a whole bunch of AI that really just shows off what the technology can do, like the screen behind me that traces my silhouette. This is designed to get people asking questions and curious about what's going on. But all this big brothering from such a big company could be cause for concern.
No, we're not worried about that at all. I think, privacy is one of the things we're very, very careful to make sure we put into the sort of infused into the DNA of this project, if you will. We've been very careful. If you look at where the cameras are positioned in the store, they're not anywhere near the restrooms, they're not near the pharmacy.
Whatever the case, this seems to be the way modern grocery stores are going. After all, Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, has been experimenting for a few years now with a cashierless concept where you can just grab your groceries and go.
The point of this store is really for us to explore, test, and learn and figure out what are the AI tools, what are the AI products that we can scale across the Walmart chain.
And Walmart says the AI interface and all these cameras will be much less cumbersome as they kind of pare this down and refine the technology and roll it out across the country. Live in Levittown, Henry Rossoff, Pix 11 News.
So, guys, that is what's going on with Walmart in this. I could say, because me and my family, we do shop at Walmart for a portion of our groceries. And I know at the Walmart that we actually shop at, I believe there's no cashiers at all. It's all machines. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's very convenient. You get in and you get out, which is great. And so you see a lot of consumers that will look at it and say, man, I noticed that there were just cameras walking around. And then you have the technology is really progressing fairly quickly. So the AI, from a benefit standpoint, does cutting time as well. And also there's a cost of less labor as well, also when it comes to AI also. All right. So now you actually ask questions, because remember initially we talked about how it was Walmart AI and universal basic income. So let's go ahead and dive into what universal basic income is, so we can see how this is doing. Because remember, we talked about how how AI also cuts down on labor as well. So let's dive into this real quick. We're gonna listen to this, MSNBC. They're going to be, I'm sorry, CBNC. They're going to be talking about universal basic income. Let's dive into this, and we see how this kind of intertwines together. Here we go.
Do you guys want some free money? Excuse me, would you like some free money? Free money?
No, thank you.
No? Free money?
Free money.
It's free.
Some for my friend too.
You can take some for your friend.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like some free money, sir? Okay. Wow, we've got a lot of takers here. Handing out free money sounds like a pretty radical idea, but it's actually an economic concept gaining a lot of traction around the world. We're talking about universal basic income.
Here we go.
Universal basic income is pretty much what the name suggests, an income for everyone in the form of a cash transfer, no strings attached. Finland is among a handful of countries experimenting with universal basic income as a way to address unemployment in the country. Meet our fictional character, Lena. She works in a salmon factory in Finland. Then an economic downturn hits. People can't afford to buy as much salmon, and Lena loses her job.
Sound familiar as far as the economic downturn? Let's keep going.
Under the Universal Basic Income Scheme, Lena would get around $650 a month from the government. She can use that $650 to cover living expenses while she looks for a new job. But even once she gets a new job, she would continue to receive the cash. A key feature of the Universal Basic Income is that you can spend the money however you like.
Really?
So in the Finland example, you could take that $650 and spend it on about a third of month's rent here in Helsinki, or you could spend it on 100 cans of smoked herring and 26 bottles of red mulled wine mix. We'll take 26 of these, please. The idea of handing out cash to every citizen isn't new. Philosopher Thomas Paine proposed the idea of payments to every person all the way back in 1797.
Wow.
Martin Luther King Jr. fought for a guaranteed income in the 1960s. And even free market champion Milton Friedman endorsed the negative income tax, similar to basic income, as a way to reduce welfare costs and bureaucracy. But lately, tech titans in Silicon Valley, like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, are some of the biggest advocates of the idea. They argue a universal basic income could provide a cushion to an estimated millions of people who could lose their jobs if they're replaced by automation or by robots.
Notice she said if they're replaced by automation, artificial intelligence, or robots, AI. Okay, so they're giving so these tech titans are giving a prescription on how people can make some income via after they lose their job. And so you see these type of ideas coming up, and it really comes back up on the government. But let's keep listening to what they talk about of how this can happen. Listen to this.
Hello. It's clear robots are already changing the future of work. Some in Silicon Valley say universal basic income could give workers an opportunity to retrain for today's workforce.
So more schooling, okay?
Advocates say a basic income would alleviate poverty and help address growing income inequality across the developed world.
My own business!
It could give people freedom to start their own business or flexibility to pursue creative interests. The idea.
All these are theories, okay? All these are theories. There's no proof of concept when it comes to UBI, okay? Universal basic income. This is all theory.
Has support across the political spectrum, from libertarians who say it would simplify the existing social welfare state to socialists who want to redistribute wealth toward the lower and middle class.
Notice the two parties there. Notice the two parties.
Finland isn't the only country experimenting with universal basic income. Other trials are underway in the Netherlands, Kenya, Canada, and the United States. But not everyone is crazy about the idea. Critics say universal basic income could actually disincentivize people like Lena from getting another job if they know they're getting paid not to work. And of course, there's the big fat question of how to pay for universal basic income.
That question seems to come up whenever money is being redistributed or money is coming from somewhere, or universal basic income. When it comes to UBI, there's always the question is, who gonna pay for it? Every time. Let's see what she says.
If every person here in Finland got that $650, it would cost the government more than $3.5 billion per month. That number would be in the trillions of dollars per year in the United States, where the population is much bigger. And
where would they get that money from? Taxes. So they tax you to pay you money, huh? That's UBI. It's the government does not produce a good or service. They only make revenue when they collect tax revenue. So whenever someone's asking or saying the government is going to pay for something, that's coming from tax revenue coming in. Okay? Simple.
Labor economists argue basic income would need to be a lot more than $650 to have a meaningful impact. Research from the OECD shows that if the existing system of social and unemployment benefits was eliminated or reduced to pay for a basic income, poverty could actually increase. Other critics say there's no reason that people who are already well off should be getting more cash from the government. So it's not looking like free money is going to become the norm for everyone anytime soon.
So that was CNBC. Okay, that was a pretty good breakdown of UBI. I would say UBI from a fiscal standpoint makes no sense at all. None. Makes no fiscal sense at all. Okay, because the government produces no good or service at all. They only take in revenue when they tax you. That's it. That's why they have the IRS. It's not hard to understand, guys. Period. They don't produce no good or service at all. Understand that? Very simple. All right, guys. So let's keep going. Let's keep going now, because now we had a kind of a dry run of this UBI during COVID, right? We had this little dry run of stimulus. UBI is a stimulus check, stimuli. That's what it realistically is. But the UBI is more on an ongoing basis, right? And so there was a test run of this during COVID, right? When they were directly depositing money into your account, all right? That came from tax revenue, right? Now, by doing that, they had to print out more money, which is really modern monetary theory. And I'll do a Countermove podcast on MMT at a later date. But as you can see, look where we are now. Because of the excess printing that Congress is blessing, as well as the executive branch, we have hit record highs in inflation. Inflation is just a stealth tax. That's all it is. All right. So that's kind of a long and short of UBI and the effects of it. Now, let's do something a little different, guys. Remember, also, before we go to the next slide here, you had a lot of talk in 2018 and 2020, and also in 2016 a little bit during the presidential campaigns in 2016 and 2020, as well as in 2018. You actually had a lot of people saying that, and it's really in those more liberal states. They'll say you should be paying everybody should be paid a fair wage, and so they came up with a $15 an hour type of scenario, right? And so a lot of these companies begin to up their pay to $15 an hour and or higher. And so what they were saying was that could pay a livable wage to those workers. Okay, that's fine. Now there's an effect for that because previously, I'm gonna use McDonald's for a second because I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school. I think I was paying at the time, that was back in between 1995 and 1998. I was making, I think, what, $8.50 an hour? You know what I'm saying? Which is low. It was just low. Now they're paying right now $15 to $17.50 an hour. This is in Texas. Okay, so it's doubled. It's doubled. But also you see McDonald's going more automated as well because the cost of labor has went up, which has affected the bottom line. So they had to do something to mitigate that risk on the bottom line. Okay, that's beginning to stress that bottom line, those profits, right? All right, now watch this, guys. Let's go and see what was the discussion in Walmart's boardroom concerning AI and universal basic income. You're about to see why Walmart made the shift over to AI and how it actually had an effect on the labor force and also the effects on the market. Watch this, guys. Let's dive into this real quickly. All right, let's go into the boardroom. All right, these are discussions that they have at the boardroom concerning this. All right, let's dive into this real quickly. Let's go this real fast. Here we go.
Plans to automate 65% of its stores within the next 3 years in order to speed up its e-commerce fulfillment center. The move follows the announcement of laying off 2,000 employees who fulfill online orders. Walmart aims to move around.
Laying off 2,000 workers. This is after they talked about going automated. Again, artificial intelligence. So going more automated, layoffs, right? Automate layoffs, but let's keep going.
Around 55% of packages that it processes through its fulfillment centers through automated facilities by January 2026, which is expected to improve unit cost averages by about 20%. The company's investment in automation technology is part of its more than $15 billion capital spending budget. This year, this increased efficiency will support better inventory management and Walmart's rapidly growing e-commerce business. Walmart hiked its minimum wage earlier this year across the country, surpassing $17.50, which were expected to be reflected in.
Remember, $17.50, that was the wage, right? We talked about $15 to $17.50. That was the wage that these companies wanted to begin to pay a livable wage. The effects of, as Walmart said, let's go automated, and they began laying off workers. Listen to this. This is the discussion going on in the boardroom. Listen closely.
In March 2nd paychecks. Tom.
There's a cause and effect here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And so you got Bernie Sanders out there trying to raise the minimum wage the minimum wage.
There we go.
So how did Walmart respond? First of all, they said, for the people that are working well in our stores, that are doing well, we're going to move you up to $17.50. There was also a thing about Walmart was actually paying some education reimbursements.
Yep.
Those people wanted to go and take some courses.
Yep.
But then on the other side of it, the other side of the board meeting went like this. Look, the stock market is an angry beast, and we got to feed it. And we have to feed it profits and a thing called the PE ratio.
Yes.
How much we got? We got $30 billion in cash.
Listen.
What if we take $15 billion of it and we invest in automation so we can keep the best people at $17 an hour, but we can compete with Amazon that's automating and doing Amazon Prime, and you can click on there and you can get a tube of toothpaste in an hour to your front door. I don't need Instacart. Amazon Prime, have you noticed that? Some things they'll deliver like in 2 hours. If you order it now, it'll be at your front door in 2 hours. And there it is. And so they're competing. So there's three angles here. The first angle is beware of capitalists. If you put them in the corner, they're going to invent their way out. Rule one.
Exactly. You had politicians and you had activists coming out saying we need to pay a livable wage. hike up the pay raise to $15, $17.50 an hour. You just heard Walmart actually say they actually did that, right? But then because the cost of labor went up, capitalists got more creative because they were put into a corner. And what happens is they begin to automate to begin to compete. That automation brought down the cost of labor. Hence, they begin to lay off people. Let's keep going.
One, never screw with real capitalists.
There you go.
And entrepreneurs. Rule 2, you know what? If you're going to force me to pay people more, I only want the best people. And so you
listen.
better be the best, otherwise you're not going to be here. And rule 3, competition brings out an assortment of things that ultimately are going to be good to consumers, because you know what's going to happen here? On one side, you could look at labor and say, oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. On the other side, you know what I see? I see Walmart competing with Amazon so that people get efficient, low-cost consumer staples at a time when inflation is up. So I look at the other side and say, hey, there's going to be an Amazon and a Walmart competing so that people on average middle American incomes can afford to get things in the face of inflation. And I think that's important. But that's what I see here. I see about 3 things moving around.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Brilliant breakdown by Tom. Oh, the biz doc killed that one, man. Golly, the cost of labor went up because of the hike in salary, right? Then what happened is you have inflation, so the cost of goods and services is going up. So that there's some shaking when it comes to, or some turmoil when it comes to that bottom line. So, and also competition out there when it came to Amazon. So what did Walmart say? They said, we have to compete with Amazon. Amazon is going more automated, so we got to go more automated. By going more automated, that drives down the labor cost, because then we can keep the creme de la creme in talent and keep them at $17.50, but lay off the stragglers. Now merit comes into play now, right? So, that is a beautiful, because the cost of goods and services have went up because of inflation. Wonderful. Be careful with this UBI stuff, because it costs you something, and you're putting capitalists in a corner, and capitalists will outfox you because they're smart. Oh, I love it. I love entrepreneurship, and I love capitalism because of the fact that when you put in the corner, you have to get creative to get out of that corner. Let's keep going.
Tell you one thing that we learned in the last literally year, maybe 2 years, when we had Andrew Yang sitting right here, and where Vinny's sitting right there.
Andrew Yang.
And this is after $5 trillion was printed of stimmy money.
Yep.
And he was the biggest proponent of universal basic income, UBI.
Yes, he was.
That was his whole message when he ran for the presidency in 2016.
Yep.
And was that 2020? Whenever he was running president. Okay, I think it was 16. No, 20. And Pat said, well, make the case for UBI now, Mr. Yang. He's like, we just gave out everybody money. How we doing? And he kind of eloquently skirted, UBI, it's just like,
that's what we do.
It doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
Like, this shit don't work.
That's what we do.
Just printing of the money and giving people money to sit around and do nothing.
Tap dancing. That's what we do. That's what we do. Appreciate you, Mitch. That's what we do, Doc. That's what we do. Yes, sir. I got this from my boy Mitch. That's what we do. Tap dancing. He Gregory Hines. That's what he did. That's what he did. Andrew Yang. Yep.
Doesn't work. So I guess the point is, companies are going to have to figure it out. Employees are going to have to figure it out.
Yes, they are.
The days of maybe UBI is a thing, maybe just giving stimmy checks is a thing. I think we've proven during COVID this is not going to be beneficial for the economy.
At all.
No, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So
he's like,
at all, guys. So guys. I mean, the biz doc and Adam killed that thing. I mean, it's enough said, y'all. Enough said. Now, guys, let's go to the next point, guys. All right. How has the AI shift affected the job market? Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with the job market, y'all. Yes, sir. What has happened so far, y'all? This came out today, y'all. Today. Listen to this. All right. Take it in. Take it in. I got the Countermove for you. Don't worry about you. Take it in. Here we go.
has announced it's cutting 9,000 roles on top of the 18,000 job cuts announced earlier this year, bringing the total to 27,000. Amazon is a large group of major corporations that have made significant cuts in 2023. Meta and Google and finance behemoth Goldman Sachs, the layoffs have primarily affected the tech sector, which is now hemorrhaging employees at a faster rate than any other point during the pandemic, according to the data cited by Wall Street Journal. A site tracking the layoffs since the start of the pandemic, tech companies have slashed more than 150,000 jobs in 2022 alone, compared to 80 in 20 and 15,000 in 21. Let me say that one more time. In 2022 was 150,000.
Wow.
In 2021 was 15,000.
Wow.
And at the peak of the pandemic was 80,000. Okay, so here's some of the other companies that are laying off their people.
Listen.
Rob, if you have this. Open Door, 560 jobs. McKinsey, 1,400 jobs.
Wow.
David Bridal, 9,236 jobs. I didn't even know they had that many employees.
Wow.
Virgin Orbit, 85% of staffers.
Wow.
EA, 780 employees. Amazon, 9,000. Walmart, about 200 employees. Roku, 200 staffers. Accenture's 19,000. LinkedIn, 2,200. Sirius XM, 475. Meta, 10,000. Citigroup, hundreds of jobs. Waymo, 209 jobs. GM, 500 salary jobs. Twitter, 200. ThoughtWorks, 500. Yahoo, 20% of their employees.
Wow.
DocuSign, 10% of their employees. GoDaddy, 8% of workers. Disney, 7,000 jobs. Affirm, 19% of its workforce.
Wow.
Zoom, 15% of its staff.
Return to office.
eBay, 500 jobs. Pinterest, 150 jobs. Dell, 5% of the workforce. Rivian, 6% of jobs. BBG Media, 8%. Intel, 343 jobs. Splunk, 325 jobs. FedEx, more than 10% of top managers. PayPal, 7% of total workforce, 2,000 employees. IBM, 4,000 jobs. HubSpot, 500 jobs. Dow, 2,000 global employees. SAP, up to 3,000 employees. 3M, 2,500. Spotify, 6% of its workforce, 600 employees. Google, 12,000 employees. Vox, 7% of their staff. WeWork, 300 employees. Capital One, 1,100 tech workers. Wayfair, 1,000 employees. Microsoft, 10,000 workers. BlackRock, 3% of their global workforce, or 500 employees. Crypto.com.
BlackRock, y'all, who actually manages the largest portfolio, has the most money in the world, 15 trillion. BlackRock, up to 3% of their global workforce.
20% of their staff. Goldman Sachs, 6.5% of their global workforce, 3,200 employees. BNY Mellon, 1,500 jobs. I'm about to be done, folks. DirecTV, 10% of management staff. Verily, part of Alphabet, 15% of the workers. Coinbase, 950 workers. Amazon, 18,000. Vimeo, 11% of the workers. And last but not least, Salesforce, 10% of its staff. 7,000 jobs.
God.
These are all the companies.
Take that in. I want y'all to take that in. Breathe that a little bit. Come on. I know. Take that in. It's all right. It's all good. I got the Countermove. Don't worry about it. Just take that in. That's a lot of companies. A lot of companies that you actually know. Okay? Take that in. This is where we are right now. All right? Let's keep going.
So Pat, quick question. What, like, Amazon's laying off all these people? I mean, people are still using Amazon like crazy. Where are these layoffs coming from?
You know who's happy right now?
Who?
Guess who's happy right now? Shareholders, because stocks went up.
Yes, sir.
This is one way of making money. Tom, why don't you take the lead from here?
Come on, Tom.
I'm going to make this very simple. Why are layoffs good? I'll make it in one very, very simple thing. You and your wife have had a house that you've had for 20 years. Your 2 children are now graduating college, and you're not sending checks to college, and those kids are no longer home eating. They're no longer on your car insurance. Guess what? You've got extra money each month for the first time in a long time. That is exactly, on a massive scale, what happens when companies lay this off. The market loves it because they say, if you can keep your sales even flat to where you are right now, flat, even if you stop growing a little bit during a recession, it's flat, but your costs are coming down, so you're going to have more profit. It pops the stock price. It moves the market index. Right now, if you were just putting money into cash funds with any of the reputable, organizations, I'm not going to list them, so it sounds like we're favoring one or the other, but any of the reputable brokerage firms that cater to consumers, you just put in a cash fund or in a market. If you look long term, like an S&P ETF, because over the course of time, the S&P has always beat the market on index basis.
Every time.
But the market loves these layoffs.
As they
And
do.
they love what's going on. And I'll tell you how much they look. If you're going to decide what to wear when you get up in the morning, you look at the temperature, you look at the weather report, right? Rob, can you pull up the VIX and show this to America?
This VIX. Listen to this.
You see
guy.
here? Where's the VIX right now?
Listen to this.
1753. The VIX is a temperature gauge that the market uses of volatility. Over 20, and it's stormy outside, and you will go and you could correlate the VIX being up almost at 35 to banking issues, SVB Bank and stuff. Right now, we've had a spike, and all the layoff announcements you see there in March, Pat, the VIX has dropped down to 1750, so solidly under 20. The market temperature says, hey, it's not too volatile out here. It's actually a good time to invest. That's what the market thinks. Yeah. And if I could add one more thing, IPOs have been kind of quiet, but IPOs may be coming back. This week, SeatGeek just announced, actually this week, it was yesterday. I caught this yesterday, as well as one of my favorite writers over at one of my daily newsletters caught this at the same time, is SeatGeek just filed an S1, which is basically a letter they send the SEC, say, we're going public. And they went out at a $1 billion valuation. Yep. And so in the market, the market is going to feel and look different than the consumer news.
Yes.
It's not out of sync. What's happening now is the layoffs are helping companies' stock prices, and even in a recession, and the market is very open to investment, and you're going to see IPOs this year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off, but when they lay off all those, I mean, it's good for the market, you're saying, but what about all the employees that are still working there? They just have to work harder, correct? Like those people, if Amazon's laying off all these people, that means somebody has to pick up that slack, right? Same job has to be done.
Well, I think we had a couple stories that were on this, like about people that were investing in themselves, 25% more training that they were availing themselves to. So why is somebody back in the office saying, I'm going to definitely spend 25% more time on training? Why? They want to be valuable, and they don't want to be the next guy on that long list that Pat just read.
Gotcha. I think this, the classic case of supply and demand over COVID. Who had all the leverage? A lot of people would say that the employees had the leverage, right? I'm not coming into the office. I'm working via Zoom. I'm working from anywhere. Now at this point, employers have the leverage. I know you're in favor of typically cutting the bottom 10% of a workforce anyway. Things changed so dramatically during COVID. So let me just kind of give you a better metaphor. 2 years ago, we all remember that it was hot girl summer. Yeah. Hey, it's hot girl summer. All right, girl, do your thing. Yeah. Last year, our boy Chet Hanks was on. It was white boy summer. Yeah. Okay, this summer it is tighten the F up, don't get fired summer.
Remember your
because layoffs are coming. Tighten up.
Remember I'm sorry, I just interrupted you, Adam. I'm sorry about that. Remember your man on the street interview with the girl that had come down for spring break with her stimulus check?
Oh, yeah. I said, did you get a stimulus check? This is in South Beach. She said, how much did you get? $1,400. Hell no, I got $5,600. I go, oh shit. She's like, I got dependents. I go, how much did you spend on this trip to South Beach? $5,600.
Wow.
I said, unbelievable.
Let me say this though, Bob. The question you asked and the point Tom was making. Yeah. People working in the office spend 25% more time on career development. This is a Bloomberg story.
Gotcha.
According to data from WFH Research, which is working from home, people working in the office spend 25% more time on career development activities than those working remotely, including mentoring, formal training, and professional development. You can't do that at the house.
No, you can't.
The figures support the argument for hybrid work schedules as younger workers and particular benefits from an in-person mentorship on on-the-job training. Research has shown that working in the same building has an outsized effect on workers' training, and that face-to-face interactions with managers can be advantageous for career development. Employees who have more face-to-face interactions with their managers are promoted to a higher rate, and this could explain a third of the gender gap in promotions at the large financial firm studies. Now, the last sentence there was a little bit of a politically correct statement they added in there, but that should kind of tell you that. If you're in there, you're being challenged, you're being pushed, you're being seen, you're being held accountable, you're being driven, you're being asked, hey, how come you're not doing this? Have you thought about things? You may want to read this. Did you see this article? You're hearing other people having conversations with each other. That's helping you grow. You're sitting home. Who are you listening to? Yeah. You're listening to your, little dog right there barking at you. Hey, can you walk me for 5 minutes and come back? All these other distractions. So in a season like this, as crazy the economy is, this is the season to recreate yourself. the people at the top recreate themselves very regularly.
Yes, we do.
And so the speed between three different people, let me kind of explain this part so this will make sense to you. This has been my experience having studied, coming up as a competitor, as a regular guy that was a 21-year-old Army guy. I'm like, who am I? I watched all my peers and I asked myself, who's changing most often? So you got three people.
That's a good question.
You meet Johnny a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, he's the same person. All right, okay, no problem. Guess what? Life's going to be the same. If it's hard, it's going to be harder because you're getting older. So your market value is also going lower, right? Okay, the middle one is maybe recreate themselves once a year, okay? Or once every other year. Typically, they recreate themselves because of a crisis. They're forced to recreate themselves. They're forced to change. They got fired, heartbreak. Something happened, so they're forced. I better change or else this. But these guys typically, after they recreate themselves and they see immediate results, they go back to their shitty habits and then boom, they're forced again. So every 2 to 5 years, they're forced to recreate themselves. The third group, dude, every 3 to 6 months, you don't see them, you don't recognize them. They're talking about a whole different thing. Their mind's in a whole different thing. They're developing on this, working on this project, that project, this project. So you're like, man, I can't catch up to this guy anymore. It's because they recreate themselves more often. The best compliment you can get today from somebody you haven't seen for the longest time is, man, I don't recognize you. What happened to you? You've changed. If everybody recognizes you all the time and you're the same, you ain't recreating yourself. I
would say this here, guys. I believe that was one of the greatest breakdowns that I've seen concerning what's going on. And here's my reaction to all this. I agree with Patrick when he said if you're not recreating yourself, you're going to get left behind. You're going to get crushed very easily. And I'm going to be one of the ones who's going to crush you. And I mean it respectfully. Here's my reaction to what's going on, guys. I'm not surprised at all that Walmart's doing this. I made a video, an Instagram reel. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was walking out of Walmart, and I may repost that. And I walked out and I said, man, I'm walking out of Walmart, and I have not seen not one cashier. All the checkout places were just machines. That's all they were. That's all they were, guys. And I just said, technology is moving fast, and I'm seeing less cashiers. And I will go to different Walmarts and I would see that same reality. Now, some Walmarts would actually have some cashiers, but there was a lot of self-checkout lines as well also. I'm seeing the same thing at Kroger. Kroger does have some checkout lines as well when it comes to cashiers. But they have a more self-checkout lines as well also. Amazon is going automated. I actually was looking at investigating the company, and I still may do that. A CBD company, to be honest with you, and it was to automate a vending type of scenario when it comes to CBD products. I mean, it's ridiculous, and the idea is fairly good. So I say this here, guys, is whenever technology is progressing, right, and the climate is you have a lot of pressure politically, right, of you need to raise the minimum wage from $8.50 an hour or $9 an hour up to $15, $17.50 an hour. Okay, you're putting an entrepreneur in the corner. Then you have a lot of UBI, universal basic income. That's where that higher wage is coming from. That's where it's coming from, right? A livable wage. Then you mix into that also inflation going up, which is causing the cost of goods to go higher. All the company does when it comes to cost of goods or services going up, they pass it on to the consumer. So you're going to be paying that, right? But that's causing some turmoil when it comes to the bottom line of a corporation, whether it be small, medium size, Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000. That's causing that bottom line to be kind of stretched a little bit. So remember, corporations have to make sure they're making profits for their shareholders, right? So you put a entrepreneur in the corner or an enterprise in the corner, a capitalist in the corner, they're going to recreate themselves. Therefore, AI comes in. AI makes things a lot more competitive, makes things a lot more streamlined at the exact same time. Now what happens is that the enterprise can then say, I'm going to choose the best talent, the creme de la creme, and I'm going to let the stragglers go. Right? So the stragglers go. That's why you heard all those layoffs. Those, unfortunately, were the stragglers. The stragglers, they had to go. But the creme de la creme stayed there. Right? But what's happening is now they brought their cost of labor down which is less stress on the bottom line, more profits. Now, when it comes to inflation, they pass their costs on to the consumers. They're making record profits now because they just lowered their cost of labor and it's passed the cost of inflation over to you, the consumer. That's called business. Very simple, guys. Not hard, right? So, what is your counter move, right? What's the counter? This is called the counter move podcast. Simple. I have 3 things I always say: peep it, sweep it, then keep it. If it ain't broke, guys, don't fix it. Here we go. Now, I always begin here. What's the peep it thing? Please examine your current situation. All right. UBI is trash. Get that out. Get that out. If you wanted someone to take care of you, you're going to be broke. I'm sorry. So examine your current situation. Here's the question you got to ask yourself. At your current job, all right, a place of employment, do you have job security? Okay, you got to ask that question. Do you have job security? If the answer is no, you got to do exactly what Patrick talked about. Begin to recreate yourself, right? Because now what's happening is you're being judged on merit now, not on you just having a job. Okay, playtime is over. It's over. Okay, it's over. All right. Number 2, sweep it. All right. Do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan B? All right. What's your plan B? If you don't have one, okay. So do you have a side hustle that solves a problem? All right. The problem can be your problem of income and also a problem for the marketplace. Business is all about solving problems. It's all it's about. All right. Walmart exists because they solved a problem. McDonald's solves a problem. Burger King solves a problem. Kroger, pick any big enterprise. All right. They're solving a problem. Do you have a side hustle that solves a problem? If you can prescribe a solution to a problem, you'll never be broke ever again in your life. Because you are presenting value, and money always chases value. Okay? Broke people chase money. Money chases value. I'll say it again. Broke people chase money, right? Money chases value. Simple. All right? Now, here's the last thing. All right? This is keep it. Start thinking generationally. Stop thinking for Saturday night or the next paycheck or how you can pay your bills. I'm not saying that you should think about how to pay your bills. No, that's intertwined into generational thinking. All right? But your vision has to be generationally, not for Saturday night. Let me say it again. Broke people plan for Saturday night. The wealthy plan for 3 generations. Let me say it again. Broke people plan for Saturday night. The wealthy plan for 3 generations. Right? Change your thinking there. All right? So, what's a good business model for you to begin your side hustle in? All right? Network marketing or home business, direct sales. That's a phenomenal business model to look into. Low cost to get started. Great business training so you can begin to reinvent yourself. Financial services, life insurance, annuities. Again, low entry costs when it comes to starting a business because you're starting a business. Remember, you're thinking generationally, right? And you get the training as well also so you can reinvent yourself. Do you see the formula? And also real estate investing, all right? You can low entry fee to start when it comes to education, right? With the right education. If you want me to do it, that's fine. That's fine as well. If not, I have other people as well also. You can literally in real estate, acquire your first property in the next 30 to 90 days and make 5 figures easily in real estate. Very simple, guys. These are good side hustle businesses that you can own. And here's the key thing, and pass on to your children. Again, thinking generationally. Network marketing or direct sales, financial services, and or real estate investing are good side businesses that you can own. Again, you're the owner now, all right? And pass on to your children generationally. Okay? Stop thinking for Saturday night or the next vacation and begin to think generationally. All right? I'll give you guys a real life example real fast. That's not me. A good friend of mine, two friends of mine, and I'll brag on them. They own a company called Art of Homage. All right? Art of Homage. This is their wear. This is their hat. This is their attire. This is my suit. This is what I actually wear. I got some merch coming too, guys. Don't get it twisted. All right. But the exact same time, what happens is these guys began their clothing company called Art of Homage, guys, all right? Or AOH. They have a company called Entrepreneur as well with $1,500 while they were working their jobs. Tim was a banker, as well as Gabe, who are two owners, actually worked for ISD, right? And in 7 years, right, they now have 7 brands that's making, and they made generate over $15 million in 7 years. This is a clothing brand, all right? 2 young brothers killing the game, y'all. And they begin with a hat. A hat, that's it. A hat. This is their hat. This is them. This is them. I'm gonna give them a free pub. It's all good. It's them. So, but they solved a problem. They saw an issue in the clothing wear industry, and they prescribed a solution to a problem. Now these guys are multimillionaires. And they actually became millionaires in really 3 years. 3. Be honest with 3 years. But now, 7 years in the game, $15 million in sales. Guys killing the game, changing the game. They began thinking generationally. All right, guys? Well, guys, that's all I really have today, guys. I know this is a little bit longer. This is probably one of the most important Countermove podcasts that I've ever done because it deals with what's going on right now, how it may affect you, and it also gives you a solution. Now, people are going to ask me this all the time, all right? Liddell, can you help me out? No problem, guys. You can scan this QR code. Very simple, guys. If you need help on how to understand what your purpose is, okay? Because your solution is tied to your purpose, okay? People perish because of lack of knowledge. People perish because they don't have a vision, all right? Inviting that wise counsel. If you need some help, scan the QR code, schedule time on my personal calendar, and I'll walk with you one-on-one and point you in the right direction. It may not be in real estate. It may not be in network marketing or direct sales. It may not be in financial services. It may be something different. But no matter if I can help you, we can point you in the right direction. Because more than ever, you guys have to begin to reinvent yourself. All right? Reinvent yourself. Understand that, guys. You got to begin to reinvent yourself. It's not hard. That's not hard at all, guys. But yeah, that's really all I realistically had. I am going to tell you this, guys. Give me one sec here. I do have a wealth summit coming up real quickly that I've been invited to by a good friend of mine. He is giving me some pub on his channel. So I got to return the favor, guys. This has entered my mind, guys. So give me one sec. I'll bring it up real quickly here. Let's see here. Here it is, guys. Let's go here. Go to window. Boom. Here we go. All right, guys. Here is. I'm gonna get rid of this real quickly here. Here is. Get rid of this thing here. There we go. Here, guys. Here is a. I'll make it bigger. Here's fine. Here it is, guys. Here is myself, Matt Sapala, good friend of mine. My man Scotty off script, guys, and myself. I'll make it like this here. We're actually having a wealth summit. That's not good. Here we go. That's better. A wealth summit, guys. Matt is a best-selling author of the book called A Faith Made Millionaire. Good friend of mine, and of course, you see your partner. Here we go. That's better. You see your partner, me, of course, real estate guy. I'm multi-millionaire in real estate, and I'm also a private equity investor as well, guys. We're actually on April 27th on the Off Script channel. It's Scott A. He's a good friend of mine. He's the voice of HBCU sports, football primarily, but he's the voice of HBCU sports on the 27th of April on his channel, Off Script channel. It's a phenomenal channel, guys. At 7 p.m., Matt and I will be doing a wealth management, a wealth creation, how to create wealth in a recession. Matt and I will be walking through those steps, and it's just for free. This is for free, guys. Didn't cost you a dime at all. Me and Matt will be walking through those steps, guys. But guys, that's all I realistically had for today. Again, if you need me, scan the QR code right here, guys. But you know how to do the thing before you leave. And while you can, you see that thing, y'all. You know how to do that thing. Take that damn picture and give it to your mama now. Now say it with your chest and holler at your partner. Peace.
Long live the king.